Hi, everyone. Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a career reading for Libra. It's money, career, abundance, all the blessings for the Libra collective. So I just want to let you know I am recording this on the 777 portal, July 7th, 2025. And the time actually here is 111. And I did not plan this, but when I realized it, I quickly, within like the last few seconds, pulled these two cards for you. So you have 777 and 111. This is about good luck and using your intuition. And I thought this was perfect for a career reading. Sometimes divine intervention takes place. Let's see what we have. So this, you could find this is good for the next month or so, or really whenever you find it. But I will say, since it's being recorded in July, it's probably more like July, August. All right, let's see what we have for you. Take heart. A light heart carries you through all the hard times. Don't worry, this too shall pass. Maybe you have something emotional affecting finances. I mean, we can't really separate things. Some people are better than others, I guess, at compartmentalizing, but let's see what we have. What else do we have for you? So I'll give you advice for removing blocks, and we'll look at what's coming in, what blessings you can expect. Small wins. Pick battles big enough to matter and small enough to win. Success builds success. So small success leading to greater success. Amazing. What else? I was hearing intuitively before the reading as I am clairaudient, find your footing. So some of you need to maybe it could be get balanced, or it could be just getting grounded, getting centered, making sure you're making decisions from a place where you are feeling more centered and calm. And surprise, a pleasant surprise is waiting for you. Be aware so you don't miss it when it arrives, Libra. What could this be? It could be anything. Something positive, though. Definitely a very positive energy here. Because, again, we have good luck here with prosperity. This can have to do with spiritual awakening, divine intervention, feeling content. And with 111, intuition, this is about moderation, patience, flow, clarity, joy, movement, self-realization, taking action, unconditional love. I'm using the Out of Hand Tarot deck, 2022 version by Jamie Sawyer. I found it on Etsy. What do we have for Libra Collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, doesn't matter. Anyone could find messages here. You have the Star card. What a way to start out a career, money, abundance reading, all about your resources. This is a very healing energy. You know, the Star card is about hope. It is about promises, rejuvenation. This is a great card if you're looking to rebuild, receive clarity, again, some sort of healing energy. Maybe faith is being restored for you in some particular way. I'm going to turn these so they're a little more oriented towards me. All right, so wow, Star card, starting out with the Star. Aquarius energy, fellow air sign. What else do we have for the Libra collective? Something about a truth, too. I'm getting truth. You have the Page of Cups. You know, we've been getting the Page of Cups for weeks now. So what is it that you're hoping to create? I hear look ahead, something about looking ahead. Maybe you're looking forward to some sort of happy surprise. This could be also having to do with sensitivity, that dreamer in you, especially when I have it next to the Star card. It's like, you know, pay attention to your dreams too and what your intuition is trying to tell you at this time. I find it interesting. The Page of Cups is what's underneath Take Heart, because this is, you know, the cups are the suit connected to emotions and intuition. And again, very creative energy, but it's like this little fish in this glass, this big fish in this little glass. Maybe that's how you're feeling for some of you. Maybe some of you are feeling that. You can see there's a panda here. There's a little robot. There's a little taxi cab, aloe plant or some kind of plant, a little piggy bank. There's a doll here. There's a turtle. So a little fire engine. You may resonate with any of the symbols and signs on this card. So I'll show that for you. So it's almost like having this dream in hand, or something, a little, like even like a seed. You know, you've been getting the Ace of Pentacles a lot and the Ace of Cups a lot. And it's sort of like, it's really nurturing maybe a dream, or nurturing the creative side of yourself, or really tapping into your own inner wisdom. And again, you know, you have 111. Now that's a sign of manifestation, but this is also saying it's time to implement long cherished ideas. This is about being on the right track toward making your dreams and visions a reality. So this is about the right people, circumstances, and resources being sent your way. Happiness and new opportunities are arriving. So you need to trust the process. Find it, if you can find it in yourself, to trust a bit. So you have the Page of Swords, so another page, and then the King of Pentacles. Now, I feel as though for some of you, you're hesitant to, so there's a hesitancy here when it comes to resources, when I have these two coming in together. Some of you could also be deciding to invest in something where you're actually putting your work out there for once, or for the first time, or in a new way even. Maybe you're using your voice in some way. But this is like having that vigilance and curiosity, and this card can have to do with mental agility, the Page of Swords. And I feel as though for some of you, it's almost like you're what's the saying? Put your money where your mouth is. For some of you, I feel as though you are making a big decision, and it has to do with your overall, like King of Pentacles here. It has to do with like your resources overall. This is somebody, the King of Pentacles is very abundant. This is a solid leader. This is someone who's very wise with investments. You could be getting word, pages can be messengers. You could be getting word of a small win. The pages are the youth. So this could be some sort of small investment paying off, as you did in fact have small wins. So picking the battles big enough to matter and small enough to win was one of the messages with small wins. So you have these two cards here. You also have, whoa, wow, okay. You have the Lovers card, and it kind of flew out with the Empress. My goodness. So I'll read both upright and reversed meanings. So the Empress and the Lovers card, I feel as though because some of you may not be in alignment, okay, the Lovers card can have to do with alignment. The Empress can have to do, of course, with your fertility and your creativity. You may be feeling, though, when these cards are in reverse, that you're having some sort of creative block. There could be some sort of conflict or regret. There's some sort of disharmony, indecision even, when it comes to, others, or dependence on others, or others depending on you. So there could be some sort of imbalance here. So Libra, Taurus, and Gemini energy coming in on these cards. Not that it really matters in a general reading, but some of us like to know. So this is what you have under surprise. Some of you, there may be a surprise pregnancy even that you hear about, or that occurs for you. So just, be mindful of that. But things really need to be in alignment here. There's something here that is just not, let me just say there's more than meets the eye with something, okay? There is some sort of surprise, but it doesn't mean it's bad, all right? So there is something here waiting to be, it's almost, I kind of feel as though for some of you, you're not in the right environment for something to be, to fully come to fruition. That could be something that's in the way. Maybe you have a surprise opportunity to get out of something, release yourself from some sort of stuck energy. What else do we have for the lovely Libra collective? Thank you to my subscribers and members. I appreciate you so much. Thank you all for being here, and for the super thanks, chats, and the donations to the Square link. I appreciate it all very much. Oh, so a card did flip over when I was shuffling, and I just saw that it was the Sun. Now let's see. There we are. Okay. So now, yeah, Leo energy. And we are coming upon Leo energy next week. Well, this week, actually. And let's see, the 15th to the, oh, okay, yeah, it is next week. So Sun energy, and here's another child. So there is something here about children maybe affecting finances, or, maybe you're even, there could be an energy here when I look at some of these other cards of like being kind of naive to a certain situation. When it comes maybe to finances even, or where your resources are going. Maybe you're spending too much time on others and caring for others. and you're not even aware of how that's really affecting everything, possibly. You have several major arcana cards. So I do feel there's a big win. It's more than a small win. It leads to a much bigger win. Could be some sort of boost in confidence. Someone could be seeing your work for the first time and really, wanting to be on board with something you're doing. But you have one, two, three, four major arcana cards, and I've only pulled what, one, two, three, four, five, seven. So four of the seven are major arcana. So there is this information too coming in that you want to know. I am getting that there's awareness coming in, information you've been wanting to know, maybe about how to move forward with something, or where to invest more of, and where to retract your energy. Even that's coming in. That is coming in. There's this new level of awareness coming in. I want to look into potential blocks right now. Even though I'm not done with the tarot portion, I have to get these. There could be, for some of you, there's just something in here blocking this abundance. This abundance wants to come in, and you're in line with it. It's time. But with those two cards, the Empress and the Lovers in reverse, what is the block? What are the blocks? I really need to know that. And it could have to do with, oh my goodness, yeah, with not being in alignment in like a love situation, a partnership, a relationship, some sort of not the best choice maybe. But so you have a clear money karma. So this is something about a karmic cycle. So past money choices could be forcing you to handle your karmic financial debts. So we'll look into more of what that means. So act with respect and integrity when it comes to money, yours or that of other people in your life, and you will be more likely to have good financial standing in the future. So really taking care of what you do have, maybe needing to take better care of your things, or I will say, take better care of your health. Your health is your wealth, right? We know that. So there is something here. Maybe you're not trusting yourself, or you're not seeing where there could be success and opportunity because of past stuff, like maybe decisions where you didn't make the best choice, and you got to forgive yourself. At some point you have to forgive yourself. Take it from me, I've learned that lesson. We all have regrets, and that's what that Lovers in reverse can have to do with. What else? What other blocks does this collective Libra group have? What do we have here? Black magic. So negative energies could be hindering your growth and success. It could be tied to something past karmic for yourself or others. Sometimes we carry the karma of our families, right? Those who came before us, but we don't have to. Make a conscious choice not to carry that with you any longer. Defend yourself against spiritual attacks. Remove harmful energy of any kind while cleansing and protecting yourself from further attacks. Okay, so for some of you, it's even your living space, or maybe objects from exes, or even, again, like inherited family stuff of some kind. I am picking up on that. What else do we have? I'm getting a connection to Lithuania or Louisiana. There's something, so clairaudiently, things can sometimes be muffled, and they're letting me know by feeling, because I'm also sentient and cognizant and all clairs. But anyway, I'm knowing it's a location, but it starts with an L, and it has like IA, and so it could be like Lithuania, Louisiana. Okay, it's a little unclear right now, clairaudiently. So, but there is something here. I'm also hearing something like catching up to you. Or maybe you're feeling as though something caught up to you. Maybe, again, like you haven't been getting enough rest and it's catching up to you. Or maybe some good luck is finally catching up to you. Okay, so because, again, you have 777, and this is about this message most likely finding you during a period of really intense uncertainty. And that could be why you're here at this reading. But this is about coming out, winning from everything that may have come your way, okay? So this is really good luck. It's a sign you have a lot of life experience and wisdom to share. And so you're going to need to be enthusiastic, though, and you're going to need to put some effort in. This is what I'm getting, okay? And that's what this card is even saying. All right. So in order to get your message across, you may have to express some of that passion that I know you feel, but maybe you've been keeping it quiet. or you've been keeping small for whatever reason. It's not a time to play it small. It's really not anymore. Okay. Also, okay, so like I said, I had mentioned past failures, and this could be what's really in the way. Now, there's a big stack of cards underneath. I'm not going to go into those. I'm only taking the one that was on top. But you could be dwelling on past failures beyond the essential learning. Beyond that, it's a waste of time. Take the lessons and leave the luggage, leave the baggage behind, right? That Fool card, when you want that new beginning, it's important to travel lightly. So use your failures to succeed and make a decision to let it go and stay focused on the present and future. Learn from the past and do it a different way next time, right? You don't have to keep reliving what didn't work out. What's the point? What is the point of that? Right? I don't know. I don't know the point of that. I don't feel there is one. Okay, we had a flipper. This is very interesting. Okay, it really flipped. All right, so being a copy. I feel for some of you, this is actually not necessarily you being a copy. I feel for some of you, you're very, it's almost like you're hesitant on putting ideas out there because you don't want someone to copy you because that's a big pet peeve of yours. That is a randomly specific channeled message, I know, but it's going to resonate with someone out there. So copying successful people can backfire and it won't set you apart. All right, so if this happens to be one of your blocks, discover your own genius. Find what makes you unique and discover the genius that resides in you. Because success comes from fierce originality, not imitation. True success is going to come from that passion. We can't fake passion, right? We can't fake that. People know too. People would know if it's really you or not. All right, that's it for that right now. Let's see. Let's keep going with the tarot part. Okay, here we are. Let's see. We may have some other blocks we have to work through in this reading. Let me just see though. All right. Ace of Wands. Perfect. Ace of Wands. Now that's getting that creation, that inspiration, that spark. This is your willpower. This is that passion I was saying. You can't fake. Either you have it or you don't, right? We can't pretend. If you're not really into it, it's probably not going to be very successful. But if you're really passionate about it, give it a shot. Just give it a try. Let your desire and your dreams lead the way. Maybe you haven't done that yet. Maybe that's what this take heart means. Maybe it's time to let the heart drive. Let your heart guide you. Heart/passion, right? What you're most excited about. Maybe some of you haven't felt excited in a very long time. But this is like explore something new. Maybe you've wanted to do some painting, explore it. Add some color to your life in some way even. And that can be metaphorical or literal. What else do we have? It may be time for you to showcase your talents. Seriously. It's like we need to get serious about something here and make a decision, make a commitment. And if you really want to see that abundance that you would like. And please know these readings are not meant to judge in any way. They're meant to be inspirational, motivational, and a lot of it I'm speaking from my own experience. So please always know this is a safe space, okay? Let's see. We have 10 of Cups. Look at that. Look at that. Now, I have a few messages coming in about this. With the 10 of Cups, absolutely. Rainbow, happiness, bliss, all the great stuff, right? That we always talk about with this card. But there's something with this particular card that has my attention. Be very careful, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but be very mindful of trickery, of deception, of a very cunning individual, perhaps, in your airspace. Be mindful of those who don't know how to celebrate when others are successful. They're not happy, maybe, themselves. Be mindful of who's not by your side when you're up, when you're feeling good. It could be someone going through their own stuff, or maybe you yourself are having a hard time getting happy for somebody else right now because you could be doing things to make yourself happy, but for whatever reason you're not. Something's holding you back. But you're getting out of that now. You're stepping out. That's why you're here in this reading right now. But be very mindful of who you're setting your table for, who you're inviting in during this time when you're going to be entering into a much more like higher frequency time, a much greater time of abundance and expansion. So remember, whoever's around you, they're going to benefit. And they could even suck the life out of some project that you're trying to do because they're not ready for, they're not ready. They cannot accept your success. This could be someone, unfortunately, who's very important to you, a family member even. Now, this is not going to pertain to all of you, maybe 3% of you, but there is someone here, and you know who they are. You've already come to this reading knowing that somebody really struggles being happy for you. And that could be affecting whatever projects and positivity you're trying to create and manifest and build upon. This could be someone who's very envious, or someone who there's a dependency with the two of you, a close relationship. This could be someone who, always wants to know what's in it for them. These are the kind of people we have to uninvite to our party, right? They're not invited. They don't get a seat at the table. Some people are only happy when they're seeing us suffer. And that's hard. And this even includes people very close to us who should be number one supporters and aren't. Family, unfortunately, close friends even. But you're building your own community, and you get to decide who's coming to your party when you make it, and when you do this thing and it's a success. You decide who comes and enjoys your bliss. It's invite only. Yeah, there's someone needed to hear that. All right. What else do we have for the lovely, lovely Libra collective? Okay, we have several cards. So we're going to do a little story here. Now, they did come out in the upright. I flipped them over in reverse. Okay, so we have 4 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Page of Wands, Chariot. Okay. It is time to change the channel on something. It's time to actually put pen to paper, or again, we had put your money where your mouth is. There's something here where it's like, you've tried 3 other ways, right? You've tried 3 other cups. You take a cup, try it out. Even if it's not for you, at least you're trying. At least you chose something, and now hey, that's now a 4th cup I don't want. But there's something here about, we can't just be like passive. We don't want to be just, aloof, the guy leaning against the tree in the 4 cups typically, and he's like, oh, I've had these 3 cups, but they haven't worked out, so now I'm just going to give up. No quitters here. It's one thing to take a break. It's totally different to completely duck out on life, right? You've got to make sure that you're actually still living your life how you want to live it. Even though there have been past failures. Even though something might not seem perfect too. Once you're in, and you're going to make it what you want anyway. You have the 6 of Cups. Some of you could be in a very nostalgic period right now. Also, I'm getting either someone's debating on if they should contact you again, maybe work-wise or relationship-wise, because that can affect everything, other type of relationship. Or you're debating if you should contact them, or if they should even, again, like, be invited to the party. I just get, for some of you, somebody's just like having a really hard time accepting your happiness, or the way they're seeing you let go of things. That might actually be hard for them because they're not ready to transform. They're not ready to move on, maybe. This could be a former employer. This could be a former love. This could be a family. This could be a friend. This could be somebody who's like, you tell them you're moving for, this great opportunity, and they're just like, oh, but like, how does that affect me? Oh my gosh, we can't hang out now. Or, it's kind of like, it's one thing that if a friend says, oh, I'm really going to miss you, oh, it's going to be a real bummer. But like to have that kind of be the focus when you're over here, like, planning your celebration and your success, and you're in this like higher vibration energy, the last thing we need is someone trying to remind us of the old us, or, trying to stall us or delay us, or, be selfish in some way, or act like they're a victim, or put up resistance. So we don't want to let anybody who doesn't deserve a seat at the party be at that party for you. Okay, I don't know how else to put it. I know it's a metaphor, but it could be literal, like you're celebrating something. There's someone who is like there, but they're in it for the wrong reasons. I almost feel like maybe you yourself are doing something right now for the wrong reasons. Maybe it's something that's controlling you're in, or it's somebody you're dealing with someone else's emotions, or you're having a hard time maybe removing yourself from someone who, again, like kind of like overbearing energy, or maybe there's a dependency, maybe you've outgrown a situation or relationship. You have yet another page. Now this may be corny, but if someone else was afraid of roller skating, like if your best friend or your child or your partner, they're afraid of roller skating, is that going to stop you from lacing up and trying it? That's what I'm getting off this card. No, it's like the answer is easy. No, just because somebody else is afraid or doesn't want to, doesn't mean you can't, right? And this is all because we had the Lovers and the Empress in reverse. And those are two cards that I do not want to see in reverse for us, okay? That's like disharmony. That's emptiness. That's creative blocks. That could be dependency that's unhealthy even. It's like a step away from the devil energy, in my opinion. Because when I see the Lovers in reverse, that's like very similar to devil energy. That is conflict. That is regrets. That's bad choices. That's excess even. That's dependency. It's like a more like obsession rather than like love, okay? Or materialism even, with these two cards together in reverse, the Empress and the Lovers. So we're turning this upright. And how are we doing this? We're getting a higher perspective. And we're going to choose the path that best suits us. And maybe it is time to take heart. Follow the heart. Accept the small wins. You're getting offers coming in. I can almost guarantee that. I mean, I can't guarantee anything with tarot, obviously, but for a lot of you, you are getting something. You're going from that 6 Lovers to the 7 Chariot, and that's you being at the wheel. Again, just because someone else is fearful for you or fearful of you changing doesn't mean that's going to stop you, right, Libra? It's not stopping you. Not this time. This is you having the control to change. This is you taking action of your own success. This is your journey moving forward, and you have that discipline, you have that focus, you now have that direction, and you also have the go-ahead from source. I'm channeling this for you now. Listen to your inner voice. You came here already knowing this. Your divine birthright is to be happy, to succeed. But you have to trust yourself, okay? And sometimes the best decision for us is hard. The letting go, change, moving on. Transformation is hard. Endings and beginnings. It's hard. But that's what we have to do in order to continue to grow, expand, in order to love our life. And isn't that why we're here? A lot of us are searching for this divine purpose. Maybe that's why you're here in this reading. What's your purpose? I feel that we actually decide what our purpose is. And that's part of our self-discovery as spiritual beings, is what truly ignites you. Where do you feel you can be most you? Where do you feel most powerful? And not in an arrogant, controlling other ways. Where do you feel that your natural abilities and the directions you're drawn to, where do you feel you most shine? Where are you most aligned? That's where we need to go. That's your direction. And I've said before on this channel, I'll say it again. I'm starting to believe more and more that I don't have some grand purpose. We're not here just to have some grand purpose. I feel like the purpose is to be happy and to continue to grow, evolve in some way, to help others the best we can, but not at a detriment to ourselves. We are here to connect to earth, to each other, to space, to the bigger picture. While at the same time, feeding that inner dream, that inner desire, knowing your inner truth, but balancing that with the external, right? How do you find harmony? And it's sort of like, I think of homeostasis, right? That perfect balance of everything. It does, and it maybe, perfect is a subjective word, obviously, but you'll know it's perfect when you feel most at home. Where do you feel most at home? It's time to get out there for some of us, outside of the comfort zone. The Six of Pentacles. Maybe some of you feel good giving, but again, we don't want to bend to the point of breaking. I've talked about this recently a lot. Maybe it's your time to receive. You keep giving, giving, giving. There could be support on the way. You have the Libra scales on this card, right? And I am, feeling that there's a need for a sense of community. Who we surround ourselves with is just as important as, what we put into our bodies food-wise, etc. Environment really does play a role. External environment. Now, we can't always control all the conditions, but we can control certain aspects of, if we want to get ourselves out of something or into something better, what makes you feel whole, balance, happy, take good care of yourself. Six of Pentacles can be, how are things measuring up in investments? Is what you're investing in giving back in any area of your life? If there's an imbalance there, it's going to spill over into other areas, right? Two of Cups. Now, for some of you, this is a great commitment. I love the fact that we had the Lovers in reverse and now we have the Two of Cups in the upright. I love that because that to me is letting me know that you are correcting. You're course correcting something. You're aligning cosmically. This is like being on the right track now. There's healing here. That is a card about healing. It's a card about partnerships. It can be a soulmate energy. This is proposal, relationships, connection, sharing, attraction in some way, and you being a magnet too for people who, in situations that will help correct that imbalance. And for Libras, it's so important, like our whole thing is like, we want to feel balanced, and relationships are very important to us. Our home, very important to us. Our truth, our voice, being able to express ourselves, all very important. Justice, things being more balanced, more fair. That's so important. And so when one area of your life is feeling like it's not, it can be very difficult even to be calling in that right opportunity for you. So is that, what we're going to look into what we need to surrender to as well further in this reading. We had kind of already did a little bit, but okay. And then we have the Hanged one. So this is like getting a new perspective, accepting things, letting go. And you may be being tested too by the universe. How badly do you want something? And are you going to will you give this up to get that? Right? It's like you can't eat all the cake and be skinny. I'm just getting that off this card. It's like if you can't be doing two things that are competing with each other, right? You can't sit and stand at the same time. You can't, there's certain things that are incompatible. It's kind of like you can only have maybe a certain level of abundance and happiness and success in a particular environment. I did a reading. This energy is reminding me a lot of this, the Libra Don't Be a Doormat reading I did at the very beginning of the month. Maybe it was like July 3rd. And anyway, it was like a pep talk that nobody asked for. And so, but it's so a lot of that's coming in here. It's like, what's holding you back? What do we need to, what do we really need to let go of, release ourselves from? We're getting to the root of the matter, the heart of the matter here. And you also have Knight of Wands. Get excited again. How do we get excited again? I'm with you. Hey, like I said, you're not alone in this. Okay. I think a lot of us are here because of this. Like, how do we tap into our free spirited side, that fearlessness, that fearless creator that within us? You think about how brave firefighters have to be, right? They just go in. How scary that must be, how brave. But it's like we need to tap into our inner lioness. Oh my goodness, you're kidding me. And there's the strength card. Again, tap into your inner lioness. This is Leo energy. All right. I think we get along great with Leos. I do anyway. I mean, generally. So yeah, fire and air, we ignite each other. Bottom of the deck, you have the High Priestess. So there's another major arcana card. Another one. Pisces energy here. Now, this is, again, like you realizing how strong your intuition is and how it's sort of like you have this, people have probably told you you're an old soul, right? I mean, I'm sure of that. You've probably been hearing that your whole life. And it's kind of like, because you just have this wisdom or this deep understanding about the mysteries of life. But we have to trust ourselves and trust how strong we are. And sometimes, we also have to be reminded that power and strength actually comes through leading through example and having self-respect. We show the world how to treat us based on how we treat ourselves and how we allow people to treat us. We don't want to be giving people the okay to mistreat us, right? That's been another theme coming in. With the strength card, generally, they're the woman's, it's like taming this lion, basically, but through compassion, not through force. You can't force a lion. You don't want to go face to face with a lion, right? So this is like having that inner strength, that calm, that knowing, and also the compassion for oneself and for others. And that also comes with knowing where you fit into the grand scheme of things, and that we're all part of the life cycle, right, on this earth, in this universe. So really seeing yourself connected, as we are one. And I feel for a lot of you, you are tapping into that collective consciousness now. When you have the strength card and the High Priestess, for some of you, you're like going all in. Maybe you're learning astrology or I don't know what you're doing, but there's a lot here as far as spiritual practices. And it's helping you create and manifest. Another card of manifestation, the strength card. It's helping you create, manifest what it is you want. In doing so with conviction. Using that power. Let's see if there are other things, though, we need to be aware of or surrender to. Oh, that happened quickly. So, oh my goodness, this is a bit about your passion. Surrender to passion. Whoa. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. That is exactly what this reading's about. From the very beginning, when we had Take Heart, very first card out. A light heart carries you through all the hard times. I'm also going to change that and say the light within your heart, within your soul. That's what leads to your abundance, to creating the life that you feel is worth living. Surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dream. Know that there is enough for everyone. There's enough to go around. And that possibilities are upon you, and they're endless, especially if you yourself are eager and excited about it. When a Libra wants something and they decide, it can take us a long time to decide. I have a hard time sometimes with decision making. But when I finally do, I'm all in. So I know astrology wise, it has a lot to do with lots of different things, but I feel like the Libras I know we get really into things. It's like either we're really in or we're really out. There's not a whole lot of in between. There's not a whole lot of gray area, at least in my opinion, with Libras. So, and it could have something to do with the scales. Like there's this side or that side. There's not a whole lot in the middle. It's like there's clarity, there's truth. So maybe you are getting clear on something. Let me get you a success card. Okay, this is about, let's see. It's the success cards by www.success.cards. And this can have to do with entrepreneurship. So those of you who want to own a business, have a business, grow a business, go out on your own with something. Publicity, card 55. So next to doing the right thing, the most important thing is letting people know you're doing the right thing. That is a quote by John D. Rockefeller. So PR, public relations, is about getting attention for your company or project, we'll say. Nobody actually cares about your company, so keep your press release concise and focused on the audience, okay? A strong headline, hook, and image are key. Promise exclusives to increase your odds of getting picked up, or embargoes to get news released at once. So what news sources, big and small, do your customers follow? Do you have any novel insights to share? How can you keep tabs on current trends or new discoveries that you can tie to your business? And how can you build and foster relationships with journalists or publicity, PR in general? Interesting card. So it's like we need to stand out, and we also need to shout it out. Like, this is how I can help you, as far as this is what I offer, my services. Here's why you want to choose me and not somebody else, right? I have this, that's what it says, like a promise and exclusive, right? Standing out in some positive way. And then you have A, B, testing. Interesting, because you also had, where is it? You had A, B on this card too. Wait one moment here, sorry. You had like plan A, plan B on a different card. Where is it? Oh, there it is, past failures. Yeah, okay, so see, you had plan A, plan B. So I'm getting like, I don't know, this is really, I know it's randomly specific, but maybe your blood type's AB, which is actually the most rare blood type. So, all right, so assumptions can subsist on a foundation of quicksand. That's by Steve Redhead, an author. So make better decisions by performing tests, swapping out one variable while holding everything else constant. This can include names, marketing messages, logos, calls to action, button colors, locations, price optimization, and so much more. So which decisions are you facing that can be A/B tested? Like, for example, I try different fonts on thumbnails. I've done A/B testing with that. Or thumbnails in general, like style, or just changing one thing, like just the font or just the colors. Which decisions have you made that may have better alternatives? And how can you test and measure results with different audiences even? Yeah. So those are just some practical examples, a little bit of advice. Now, I'm obviously not authorized, blah, 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 read the disclaimer. I can't give any sort of professional advice here, but yeah, these are some good suggestions, I feel. And I will say, talking about changing one variable at a time, that is incredibly important, to only change one thing at a time, because think about it. If you change a bunch of things at once and you're collecting data on it and you're trying to figure out what works, how will you possibly know that one variable that did work, right? Like if I'm posting, like, I'll give you the channel as a perfect example. Maybe you're wanting to create a YouTube channel yourself even. If I go and I change my style of thumbnails completely, and I change the time and day of the week I post, I'm not going to know. And then my views go way up or the way down, right? I won't know. Was it the thumbnail that changed it, or was it the day and time? Because I changed both and now I don't know, right? So it's really important just to be very mindful of small changes, just like the small wins, right? That could lead to a big surprise. I'm going to say that small wins, small changes can lead to a big surprise. Small steps, big surprise. We've had this as a theme in our readings before. What else do we have? What else do we have coming in? Oh, some of you actually, let's use some of the, let's just get a few cards on what can Libra expect coming in. Money, job. What do we have? New assets. Oh, my. Okay, I have a sporty white car there. New assets coming in. And you have right direction. Now this came in. And there's a compass right there. You're heading in the right direction. But some of you, maybe you need to figure out, what after you've done some, hanged one time and really gotten clear on your own, maybe then you'll be in the right direction, right? Maybe you're here for direction. Loan approved. And then I'm hearing, like, it doesn't hurt to ask, and this doesn't have to be a formal bank loan, but it can be some kind of somebody even offer even a favor of some kind. Like maybe you need somebody to be a reference or something. I don't know why that came in, but it did. That's what came on with that card. And you also have, okay, so some of you are dealing with a toxic work environment. You already know this. You know this, and you're trying to protect yourself. It must be exhausting. And then there's overspending. It could be that because one area of your life isn't fulfilling, you're overspending in another area. And credit repair. Some of you really are working on that credit, and it's working. It's paying off. One step at a time, right? What else do you have? Thwarted plans. So sharpen your will and persevere. It will not cause any long-term negative consequences. So there is a disruption, a delay, and interference. Again, we were picking up on that not so great energy, maybe somebody not being able to be happy for you because they're dealing with their own problems, their own insecurities, their own sadness, whatever it is. We're all going through something, right? So there could be some sort of, I actually just intuitively heard a reckless energy. Maybe you share resources with someone who's rather reckless with resources. I don't know, but that is coming in for some of you. And then there's hidden secrets. Careful of superficial appearances or making decisions without all the facts. Act with discernment. There's something here about needing to be sly, careful. Maybe you're quietly quitting. Maybe you're, making plans to move. Who knows? But there is this need possibly to kind of keep that quiet. And I was getting discernment off your very first tarot card with the panda bear. Well, actually your second one, because Star was the first one. And you also have gateway of gifts. So keep doing what you're doing, and your goodwill will come back to you tenfold. Just because you're surrounded by, not great energy sometimes, doesn't mean you have to let it dull your shine, right? Doesn't have to extinguish, your passion. Again, just because your friend doesn't want to roller skate doesn't mean you shouldn't try. So there's generosity, a windfall, some sort of trade-off. And let's get an animal card. Whoa, okay, we have a couple of cards here. Something stinks, and it's a skunk. Okay, now you have skunk expression, card 18. Embrace your creative talents. Express your true personality without holding back. Be bold, courageous. And Libra, don't filter yourself. Whether it's Libra, sun, moon, or rising, it doesn't matter. We're not here to be quiet. We're known for, again, whatever placement it is for you, we are known for being truthful and vocal. In some way, we express ourselves. That is a strength with us. Language is a strength, I find. So let's use it. Sperm whale, blessings. I mean, amazing way to end a reading here for you. Expect abundant blessings, Libra. Tell the universe what you desire and be open to receiving. Trust your prayers are being heard and being answered. And I firmly believe this. We may have some things to work on. Yes, we have some things to change, but we can get there. What else do we have? Well, we have A time of great prosperity is coming. Prepare yourself. Your prosperity, again, it's linked directly to your passion. The amount of passion you have for something is, I feel, it's going to directly connect to how much prosperity you bring in. Passion, prosperity. It's like totally connected. What else? You are about to give birth. My. So this may be a birth of a child, new business, or a creative project, or it's someone else. Okay, it doesn't have to be you necessarily giving birth to like a baby. I don't know why I said it like that. Baby. Okay, anyway. I just heard Lenore and I heard Rachel. Oh my goodness, stargazing. That's funny because I wanted to say stargazing on this star card. Literally, I wanted to say the exact like stargazing, even though that's not necessarily part of the card. But look above and connect to the light of the universe. Let it replenish your soul. One more. Like two ships in the night, a chance encounter will occur with the one you love. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be an idea, a dream. You may actually, I will say, you may pay attention to your dreams because you may actually have something really amazing come to you while you're actually asleep dreaming or meditating. All right. So anything else that we need to know? I feel like I want to get a few of these cards. And I feel like I want to use the new Crystal's Wisdom deck I was able to purchase because some of you have been very generous with me using that Square app link. So thank you. Or super thanks, super chat. Thank you so much. Red Jasper. Find stability and strength. Connect with the Earth's energy. Very beginning of the reading, I said, like, find your footing, right? Be getting grounded in some way. Have this. And because we had stargazing, let's go to the Starlight deck. What else? What else for Libra? Final messages, please. What do we most need to know? I'm hearing Imperial. So, Imperial. It could also maybe interior design too. Trust. The light in you cannot be dimmed. That is so true. Don't let it happen either. That's why it can't be dimmed, because you're not going to let it be dimmed. Boundaries. Put a ring around yourself and your energies, similar to what you've already been getting in this reading. Full moon. Protect your energy and hold your stars close. We did just have a powerful full moon on the 10th, 11th, depending on where you are. So one more, maybe one more, maybe two. Oh, okay, we have two. Two came out. So you have control. Link your own constellations and take control. And Libra, breakthrough. For a star to be born, it must first collapse. This is not your destruction. This is your birth. That's what I have for you. Please do like, subscribe, leave a comment, become a member. Thank you all so much for being here. Take care.